All right, more bad news for the housing market. Existing home sales seeing their slowest April since 2009. The National Association of Realtors reporting sales fell 2% from a year ago. Economists were expecting a nearly 3% gain. Let's get reaction from Zillow senior economist Orphe Divounguy. Orphe, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So we've just spent, the first half hour of the show or so talking about all the uncertainty that companies and consumers face. We're seeing this in the housing market. What is going to get people off the sidelines? Is it only lower mortgage rates? Because you might have to wait a very long time if that is the only thing that's going to get people moving.
Yeah, so last year was mortgage rates, right? We saw mortgage rates affecting seasonal patterns. This year, it's all about policy uncertainty. We had the big stock market decline first midway through February, heading into March. And then we had that again in April, right? And I think the slight decline in home sales in April shouldn't be too big a surprise. But we're likely to see another slow month next month before seeing a rebound in activity.
Which is interesting because obviously it's a spring selling season, so you would think that it would be seasonally stronger. There would be some pickup as opposed to decline in the next month. Orphe, when you say policy uncertainty, do you mean that there's uncertainty surrounding the impact of the policy on the economy and perhaps a person's employment status? What sort of policy uncertainty is translating into consumers' reluctance?
It's the fear, right? So you look at all the consumer surveys, it's the fear, that seized kind of everybody in March and April. And so that's causing people to sit back to when you're afraid about where your future income, when you see the value of your 401k dropping, you pull back, you sit on your wallet, you don't go out and buy a new home, for example, right? And so that's kind of what we saw, what we're seeing in March. In our April data, we also saw the number of homes going under contract was 2.5% lower than it was a year ago. And so I expect that we should see another slow month in the NAR home sales account data. But early indications from Zillow data suggest that there's a rebound in the homes going under contract in the first 2 weeks of May.
Orphe, it's Karen. Thanks for being on. So one thing that would help high mortgages is lower housing prices, which has to be some supply and some people just changing their expectation of price. Any sign of that at all?
Absolutely. With inventory rising, we had the most homes on the for sale market since August of 2020, right? Inventory is up 20% relative to a year ago. And with inventory rising, we're seeing more and more price cuts. In fact, we had a record number of price cuts for the month of April, in our data. And so I think that's good news. Mortgage rates not expected to come down very much, but buyers have more options. They have more bargaining power than they've had in a very long time. And I think that's going to be helpful. Our forecast in terms of prices is going to be prices falling slightly in 2025. But we expect sales to rebound by about 1.4% when compared to 2024.